All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Marriage Goals Podcast. I'm Coach Sheréa.
And I'm Coach B. What's going on, fam?
So, today, what's our topic today?
We are talking about marriage support goals, why it is important to get some type of support with your marriage.
Yeah. So, whether it's external support for your marriage, counseling, joining a group, participating in clubs, even book clubs, a strong support network can significantly enhance your relationship.
Yeah, so in reflecting on our own journey, we recognize that there is support is crucial to have. Just in relationship, you can't just go and have a relationship without some type of support. As you go with you're needing maybe some type of books to read as you go along the way, support groups, things like that.
Right. And we were talking about this yesterday because we were working on this episode. And we are talking about how when you go get a computer, you have tech support. When your internet go out, you call the hotline for text for support. But when I got married, I don't remember nobody in my dressing room telling me, hey, if you need some support, if you get in a bunch, if you have a situation, call this number for a year. Can we just get like a year warranty of support
Yeah.
on the marriage? And so unfortunately, that's something you have to create yourself, either be a part of something or create it yourself. And we'll talk about that a little bit later too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really key and it's important. You don't get a lot of instructions when you start. You kind of like feel your way through, and that's why I'm so grateful that we have an opportunity, and hopefully it'll add some value to you to kind of give you some of these tips because you don't get that instruction guide. So it's important to set yourself up to get support, knowing that you're going to need support. You're not going to be able to do it all by yourself. So don't put yourself on an island like that.
Right. And we talked about yesterday different stages of support that you need, because when I got married, I was 21, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
21.
pretty young.
Now I'll be
Me too.
55 this year. So I've been through like 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. I've had children, I've had more children. And so different stages, I felt like I needed different support. Even now, going through, my daughter, our last child just got married. She's going to be moving out of state and we'll officially be empty nesters. That's a whole different type of
Yeah.
support. So just being engaged, pre-marriage counseling, setting your expectation, newlyweds,
Yeah.
support for newlyweds, learning to communicate, merge your lives together for the first time, new parents, yeah, you're getting married. But if you haven't had kids together, that's a situation. Retirees, you've been working, having your same routine every year, and now it's all of a sudden you're retired. Widows, one person that you've spent your life with has passed away, being grandparents, and then when we
Hmm.
talked about an empty nester. So different stages of your marriage may require a different type of support.
Yeah, that's a good point. The different seasons of marriage, as you said, just to reiterate, there's so many different levels and things that you go through, and there's several things that happen. It could be, psychologically, there's physically, all of these things go on. So you need to have some adjusters in knowing that is going to happen, and don't get yourself overwhelmed. So when you get a support group, when you're reading books, you have maybe groups at a church, maybe community. These things are really important because that is going to happen. And I'll tell you again, we don't want you to feel like, oh, it just to get overwhelmed. So when you look into these things to get support with, is going to be key to help you navigate, because that is going to happen. You're going to have children first. First you have this time where you're together. You're spending this time together. Now you're building a family. Now you have different stages with your children, then with yourself, and then as a couple, you also are still trying to grow individually. So you have to grow that way, and then you have to grow as a couple. And that's why these checkpoints are really important to get support.
Right. And maybe it may be set up like that because I know when we got married, I had already had a son. And so now the support that maybe you're a stepdad and now you're dealing with the other dad or dealing with the other mom, and you might need you might need a counselor to deal with some of the exes, and then they're talking to the kids. So you might need a whole nother level of support when it comes to blended families too, having children from different relationships if you're married into that.
Yeah. I'll tell you something definitely that I learned is that it's really important to, put that ego aside, put that pride aside, because as men, sometimes we grow up thinking that, we need to do everything ourselves, or, we don't need any type of assistance. But really, under all of that, it's really important to understand that you will need that. It's no different than, getting a coach if you're an athlete or you played in sports and things like that. You have a coach that's there to assist you, and we need to actually transfer that over into marriage. Just like you said earlier, there's tech support, there's customer support, there's health support, there's legal support, there's financial support, and then you get married, you jump the broom, so to speak, and now all of this support that you had is like, where is it at? It's
Right.
like almost like, hey, y'all figure it out now.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah, very important. As I said, for men, hey, if you have to go get a coach, if you need someone to talk to, go do that. If that marriage is important to you and that relationship is important to you, then you need to be taking the steps that's necessary to figure it out and get some things done so you can move along and grow.
Right. So I'm going to give you 2 reasons why you should seek external support. One is personal growth. So external support offers new perspectives, tools, strategies that can enhance both your personal and your relationship growth. And then 2, prevention and intervention. And so seeking help early can prevent minor issues from escalating. It provides solutions and proactive strategies for when challenges arise. And challenges will arise.
Yes, they will. So yeah, I like that. And then setting the goals to seek the support. You want to identify your needs. To me, how I see that is that sometimes there's little small things that you just kind of like, dust under the rug, or you just kind of overlook that. And
I'm gonna help.
eventually,
Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna help my husband stay on track right here. We're gonna just give you exploring different forms of support before we go into those 3.
yeah, because I just kind of like to. I like to do it in a sense where it's flowing with the conversation, but we will get right back.
Bad.
We will get back right on track. So the forms of support we have here, we have again, as I mentioned before, we have community of couples who
marriage groups,
who share the same type of situations or circumstances,
which we were a part of in the early part of our marriage.
Yeah, we did have that support, and that was key. And one of the things is too, when you get involved in groups like that, you can learn the what fits for you and what does not fit for you. But it does open your eyes and gives you some experience, because you're trying to, it's a journey, right? So you're navigating through, figuring some things out. But it's good to see that you have other people that are trying to do the same thing. Another one is marriage conferences. Those are, you can find those out there. They're available. There are also, you might be able to do like a couples retreat. A couples retreat are good. You can get away. In this busy world and in life, sometimes you need to take that time out to put yourself in a setting where you guys can really communicate with each other. Then many churches have, type of marriage and couples programs.
And if you're in your Rancho Cucamonga, the Inland Empire, or not Rancho, Fontana, our church has some great marriage groups and marriage groups. We were
Right.
part of a couple where they have a curriculum. You're going through a book. You're there with other people. You get to see, hey, maybe your situation ain't as bad when you have other people, and then you have other people that can show you how to do it better. And so there's a different mix and variety and diversity of the groups, especially in church, especially if
Right.
you have the same mindset of marriage together. That
Right.
helps.
Really to show you that you're not alone in being married,
Right.
which is a great thing and it's a blessing to have someone on your side to roll with you, to understand you, to help you build, to help you develop, to help you just be the best that you can be. Another thing is you can look into counseling. There's situations where you might need some counseling, a little bit of therapy. So those things are available to help you resolve conflicts and just to improve your communication and just understand with maybe certain type of questions and exercises.
Right. And if those things aren't available, then you can start. You can start your own group. You can be the mentor. You can organize couple events. Um, like again, my daughter, she's moving to a whole nother state. I don't know what type of physical in-person support she's going to have. I don't know what church she's going to go to. We're already, involved in a church out here. Of course, she can call us, but we're going to be miles away. And then you have a husband who's in the military, who's going to be traveling. She's going to need a whole different type of support group than what I'm even able to supply to her, because I haven't had my husband. Even when we got married, we didn't travel. A lot of relationships, a lot of people travel. Okay, my husband's gone. Okay, my wife's gone. We've never done that where we had a job where somebody was gone. And my daughter's not used to that. So even being saying, hey, my husband is gone for 2-3 months, and then you're praying that he actually comes back safe, that's a whole nother support group. And I'm sure they have like military support groups, but for her support is going to look a little bit different than the support that we need for our marriage as empty nesters, as over 50, as you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
don't, when you're asking and you're searching around for groups and support, make sure it's specific to what you actually need that's going to take yours to the
That's
next
right.
level. And now my husband going to tell you how to set goals for seeking the support.
Yeah. So number one, what we want to do is we want to identify the needs, and then we reflect on the areas in the marriage that needs work. That the benefits that you can first, when you identify those needs, then that's when you can start doing your research. Get together with your mate and talk about some of those things. I think when you come from a place of, hey, look, we got this situation going on. You and I both know we have it. Let's figure out a way how we can resolve this. And based on that, you can start to look at some of the things that you need for that, whether it be counseling, books, therapy, maybe taking a walk or something like that. Just kind of like things that will help you change and knowing that you are building and you're trying to resolve whatever that issue may be. Another one is number two is you want to choose your support. Decide whether, as I said, counseling, marriage groups, or book clubs are going to be necessary. Me personally, I think all of the above will help if you're really trying to, you know, get the whatever that issue, topic, or circumstance that needs to be resolved.
And really quick, like book clubs, this wasn't a book club, but we were in a class at church and we were going through a particular book, and the whole course was based on a book, and it was called Love and Respect. And that probably was the best class I
Oh
have
yeah,
been to ever in my marriage, as far as like marriage is concerned, and to hear the heart of the authors and how it was broken down, how the lessons were broken down. So if you don't have that book, I know we talked about it in a previous podcast, Love and Respect, how women want to be loved and men want to be respected. And when you give each of those to each other, you end up getting what you want. And so you can pick a book. Maybe that is an issue in your marriage, like love and respect, or maybe the love languages are an issue. You could take that whole book, start a book club. Hey, it's 12 months in a year. Pick 12 phenomenal marriage books that's based on what you're going through. Invite a couple of couples to the house, and you can start your own marriage book club. So it's a book club, but now you're resolving things based on the book. So
Right.
I didn't want you guys to take that lightly. Oh, it's a book club, but yeah, you can take a book club to the next level.
That's right. That's right. And so the number 3 would be make a plan. It's set actionable steps, incorporate things that will support the routine. I wanted to say, these things are necessary when you go out and you may become a part of a group or some type of support, because what it does is it opens up more information for you. Like people, like you were saying, people will suggest books and other type of ideas to you, and you'll find out, you say, wow, this couple went through this, and they conquered it. And you could look at, I mean, you could gauge your own situation, but what it does is it gives you some hope. I mean, because let's let's really think about it like this. Like, who really tells you at a certain point um about your marriage or about marriage, even when you're like a young man or young lady?
Besides single people,
Yeah,
besides all these single people that's on the line
yeah,
telling married people what to do.
there's always been like a painted picture with certain companies and entertainment companies. They will paint the picture of how marriage is supposed to be, like a fairy tale. And it's there's some fairy tale parts in it, but let's face it, when you get married, you got a partner, you got someone again to build with, you got someone to support you, or you should have someone to support you, someone that you're able to trust and do life together with. So we need that. We need that help. We need that. We need the information, and we need to know that it is impossible, or excuse me, possible, and is actually encouraging to be able to have support like that. So hopefully this has added some value to you.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. And so remember, seeking external support is a proactive step towards building a stronger, more resilient marriage. So set a goal to find and utilize the right support system for you and your spouse, and watch your relationship thrive. So if you have any resources for support, go ahead and put them underneath this video, and we'll probably, most likely, I'm going to compile a worksheet for you guys and have that available for you to download. So in this video, just go ahead and put your resources, your favorite books, your favorite counselors, your favorite retreats, and then we'll take a look at that and put something together for you guys.
Yes. Hey, and look, we're rooting for you. We're rooting for you. You can do it. Just focus on that. Hopefully you'll take some of this information and just put it to action. Make those action steps. And how long have we been doing this? This is like, our marriage has been going on for how long now?
It'll be 34 years this November, and then together 35.
Yeah, remember, so it's a journey. It's not just like, you put a period at the end. Okay, I did this, I did that, and I did that. No, we're constantly growing. We're constantly figuring things out as things move, and we're constantly navigating and having these checkpoints. So hopefully, again, this adds value. And yeah.
All right.
So marriage goals.
Marriage goals.
All
right, we'll see you guys next month. Have a good night, day, morning.